Hi everyone, this is Lori from My Garden in Bloom. Today is Sunday. Yesterday I was really busy on Saturday, so I had to move my fertilizing day to Sunday, which is okay. It's nice and cool, but it is supposed to get up into the 90s today. This is what I call part of my cottage garden, and it's kind of a cottage garden, shade garden. Two of the things that I need to get done today on the chore list are get the rest of those plants planted. I went to a nursery up in Hood River and they were having a 75% off of annual sale, and I got probably about $120 to $130 worth of annuals for $32. So it's the last of the color spots though, because usually most of the nurseries quit having annuals by July, and this is the beginning of August. But one thing I do really like, sorry about the hose there, one of the things that I really do like, I got these little pots off of Marketplace for, I think it was $10 for 4 of them, but then she had another one that had been cracked and she glued it back together. So I had them just sitting here for a while empty, but when I found those color spots or the annuals on sale up in Hood River, it's a nursery called Good News. I got these, what I call million bells, and I put them in there. I just really like the way that it looks. Looks fresh and new. I'm still working on pulling up some of the, what I call jump ups. That's the little yellow flowers. I'm going to pull most of those up and lay down some mulch just to make it look fresh for the beginning of August, and we're going to go into September. Look at this new lily that bloomed. Isn't this? It's almost at the end of its bloom, but isn't that pretty? Oh, I really like that. And this is a seedling echinacea or coneflower, and I really like the shape of it and the light pink. Here is, oh, I don't know if you can see it. Here's the mother flower. And then when it shed its seeds, it took 2 years for it to bloom, so it didn't shed its seeds last year. It was the year before. Made it through the winter. Oh, sorry about that. Uh-oh, there we go. Airplanes. We live by the Portland airport. Not real close to it, but enough that we get the airplane traffic. The annual or the perennial lobelia that I planted is doing really well. On these stalk, I'm saving the seed, so I'm waiting for those pods to turn closer to a brown, and then I will cut them down to the ground, save the pods until the pods get hard, split them open and get the seeds. I plant all my, or start all my stock from seed from in my garden every year, and I think they're just beautiful. They're kind of at the end of the season, and I'd like to know if anyone has any tips on getting calla lilies to bloom. When they do bloom, I have them in 3 or 4 different places in this part of my garden, which I call my front yard garden. They only bloom like one. I'll get one bloom on them, and I'm fertilizing today, so they get fertilized once a week. But is there a trick? Is there something to get calla lilies to bloom more? When I first bought these 3 years ago, they had blooms all over them. So it just makes me think that I'm doing something incorrectly, or not doing something that they want done. Oh, I want to get pavers to go through here, because this is definitely a little path that I make all the time, and I want it to have more of a cottage garden feeling. So I want to get over here. Look at the Michaela Miranda. There's actually 2 plants right here. Aren't those beautiful? Look, I'll show you how big that is. Look at that. Gorgeous. And this definitely is my favorite planter this year. So I took pictures of it so I'll remember what the recipe is for it for next year. I really like that. This is another echinacea that I have. I don't have the tag any longer. I don't know what the variety is, but it comes up like orange and then turns pink. They're a lot shorter than the Echinacea purpurea. And see, there's one of my calla lilies, and there's one little bloom on it. I don't know. I'm getting to the end of the larkspur, but that's good because I'll save the seeds. Plant them probably in the house like around in February. Sorry about it. It's a very sunshiny day. I'm kind of working in the shade. Oh, and look at my Waglia is blooming. It blooms early spring, but then it seems to have a little bit of a second flush. Oh, and that the rose bush is having its second flush, but it started, the buds came out right during a heat wave, so they're kind of burnt a little bit. I got some work to do in my cottage garden. This part of it looks really good. So we'll go over and look at this part. There's one of the birdhouses that I got from Marketplace for $5 a piece. I got 4 of them. And I love every single one of them. They are so cute, hand painted. Let me take you around here and give you an update on the sunflowers, the zinnias, and what I call the dahlia patch. Because that's what it is, mostly dahlias. Really sunny over here, I apologize for that. Would have been better to do this in the morning. There's the sunflowers. They're probably 4 feet tall. Just waiting for them to bloom. And the zinnias have grown a whole bunch since last time I filmed back here. Our blueberries. We have blueberries on our cereal every morning. A lot of the dahlias are still budding up. So there's not a lot in bloom, but there's a few. Here's Kelsey Annie, Joy. I really like this one. It has quite a few buds on it. That's really pretty. And there is Rumble Bumble. Rebecca Lynn. I have Rebecca Lynn and Mary Jo all over the place. Then I have some annuals here. Some Incredible, some Salvia, some Alyssum. Oh, and that's where I am right there. That's where I marked my spot that I fertilized all the way down there. And there's my 12-foot tall, it has to be 12 feet tall, sunflower. It was just a one that was probably given to us by a bird. And actually it was out in the front yard and I moved it back here when it was maybe less than a foot tall. My first white dahlias ever, and I really need to get some organza bags to put over them because it's really easy to see every single little bug bite in them. But it's so nice to have some white ones. This is Blizzard, so it's supposed to be very productive. And I really think, I didn't mark this one, but I think this is, and it's just starting to bloom, I think this is Brecken Sarah, which I'm really excited about. Another Michaela Miranda. And this was a dahlia that was marked incorrectly. Oh well, that happens when you buy tubers. Bound to happen sometimes. But anyway, here's the dahlia bed. Is probably about a third of the way in bloom. I thought about pulling that sunflower up, but then because it shades the dahlias a lot, and dahlias like full sun, but then I just pulled off a bunch of the leaves because it is starting to bloom. These will be great big tall. I need to get these some stakes behind them. This is Dancing Queen, and they are tall. Can't wait for the zinnias to bloom. I would say probably might start getting some blooms in about 3 weeks, the end of August. Sunflowers. I'm excited to see the sunflowers bloom. So that is what I call the dahlia bed, and it's my neighbor has a flag lot back here, and he let me plant a whole row of dahlias and a few vegetables back there. I really appreciate him being kind. And here we are, back in the front flower bed again, and there is my bucket, and there's the water, and I'm in the middle of fertilizing. It usually takes me about 5 hours, so a little bit of a tour of the front yard. Oh, the cool breeze. That breeze feels really good. I moved over here. I had a bunch of iris, and they just got really spindly because it wasn't enough sunshine for them. So I pulled those up, and I put some impatience over there. Oh, or over here, and they really like it. It's the perfect plant. So next year I will plant that up like that again. I think I would rather get like the magenta instead of the that's more red impatience. And look at the little thing. I think I found that at Goodwill. Isn't that cute with the family of bunnies? I don't really have bunnies. They don't eat my flowers. That's a nice way to have bunnies in your garden. Anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope your August is starting out perfect in the garden, and I will talk to you soon.